Hare Krishna, everyone. We're going to read Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hope everybody had a good festival. Radhashtami.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Anything you'd like to share about Radharani? Quickly.
I like the statement that Naveen Krishna Prabhu made yesterday. That touched my heart. He said that the devotees may reject me, everybody may leave me, but my mother will never leave me. And that is Srimati Radharani. And that's why in Vrindavan, Krishna left Vrindavan, but Radharani never left. So that's why they say Radhe Radhe. Mother is very much compassionate, much more than the father.
Yes. She is the tender hearted, feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole, representing the worldly feminine nature. Krishna also has the heart of millions of mothers, they say. But we say Radharani is the even more tender hearted, she's more compassionate. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna have combined together, or Krishna has adopted the mood of Radharani. So we say, Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Parama Karuna means supremely merciful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda also. Of course, everybody is like Radha Krishna, different moods only. So they are all very merciful, and Radharani is very merciful. As her mercy was shown to the jackal, right, who was suffering. What are other instances where Radharani shows her mercy?
Raghunath Das, as we were discussing, how she covers him with her sari as he's doing chanting outside in the sun. Sanatan Goswami's birthday is there, and Radharani comes with all the ingredients.
But
She's conquered.
they were very, they were great devotees, right? They were qualified. But is there anybody like who was not qualified?
Yeah, they say that Ashwatthama,
Uh-huh.
Krishna said, Ashwatthama, you will suffer in this material world till the end of whatever the world. But I've heard that Ashwatthama went to Srimati Radharani and she said that you will be the next Vyasdev. She forgave him.
Okay.
I don't know where that story is coming from. And then one person, I've also heard this. This is maybe local tales, but in Vrindavan, one person's wife, whose name was Kishori, and he was not able to find her wife, and he was saying, Kishori, Kishori, where are you? And then Radharani says, somebody is saying my name, bring him to me. And then he got darshan of Radharani. Just like a Jamil saying Narayan, Narayan, and Krishna forgave him. And
So Krishna is also giving that. Putana also gave mercy to Putana who tried to kill him.
there's another story where there's a Brahman who has a daughter to be married, and he comes to Krishna for help, and Krishna says, you take Radharani. And the gopis are like, how can you give Radharani? She's not your property, right? So then I think then they had to put Radharani in the tula, and then Krishna gave equivalent of the weight of Radharani, like the wealth, to the Brahmana. That story is.
Similar in Dwarka, right? That was Satyabhama. That was
Yeah,
Tulsi.
correct. And Rukmini put one tulsi leaf with Krishna's name on it.
Okay, so
And also, he said yesterday, as he was reciting this Gopakumar story, that every devotee is thinking, "Oh, I'm not a devotee." The other person, the other devotee, he glorifies the other devotee. So Radharani is like that. This is a better devotee than me. Who can be a better devotee than Radharani? But she's thinking, I'm not a. The other person is a better devotee. So Krishna, you accept him, and whoever Radharani says, Krishna would accept. So this humility is there because as we see in the Ras Leela pastime also, when that gopis were thinking, oh, Krishna is with me because I am the most uh, beautiful. Krishna loves me the most. As soon as that thought happened, Krishna left the Ras Leela. And so the quality of a devotee is, I don't have any love for Krishna. Other devotees have so much love for Krishna.
and that should manifest in service to other devotees, right? That quality, if you feel like that, then that manifests as service to other devotees.
Mm.
Because you feel you are not qualified, others are qualified. I was talking to Mother Kamikiri yesterday, and she was saying that either your master or your servant. So you have to choose if you feel you are servant or your means you she was saying if you like to be served by others, then that is you're feeling you're the master. And if you want to serve others, then you are yeah, then you are humble. So that's so we have to offer respects to all living entities. We are discussing this. Uh, you can get taste in chanting the holy name only when we have this verse Trinadapi Sunichena Tarudapi Sahishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So we were discussing yesterday, she was saying it's not respect to only devotees, it's respect to all living entities. So one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself to be lower than the straw and street. One should be devoid of all sense of false prestige and desiring no respect for oneself. One should offer all respect to others. Others means everybody, all living entities. So,
प्रेमेरा स्वभाव यहाँ प्रेमेरा संबंध से ही माने कृष्ण मोरे नाही प्रेम गंध. The quality of a natural symptom of the devotee's thing, he thinks that I am not even a devotee, I don't have any drop of love for Krishna. Other devotees have so much love for Krishna. And he was also saying about greed. Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritir na labhyate. That he's greedy to do more and more service.
correct. Okay. So if we don't have greed, then we should think we are not so advanced devotee. There are others who have done so much more. So even if you do so much, you should think I have not done enough. That is also another way to make spiritual advancement. I have not done enough. Okay, so the next verse we'll read Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, physically you can do only so much because with age your body doesn't may not allow you to do so much. But Krishna should Smaranam is always possible, whichever chanting, hearing, and remembering Krishna is always possible. So suppose somebody becomes very old, they cannot lift weights or do so many things. So and it is an internal process. So it is a consciousness in which we do the service also matters. So while we are doing the service, we have to remember Krishna. Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha, Krishna says. So you have to think I'm chanting for Krishna's pleasure. I am doing this cooking for Krishna's pleasure. I am doing this service to please Krishna. So whatever we are doing, we have to do it in that consciousness. Whether you are cleaning, whether you are, because that makes it different from just ordinary service. We can get hired people to cook, or we can get we can get catering, right? We can pay money and people can come and clean the kitchen. But there is a difference. They are doing it because they are getting money. They will do it somewhere else also. Anywhere they will do, wherever they get money. They'll go to the restaurant. They will do the service in the restaurant, and they need money, so they are doing it. But devotees do voluntarily for the pleasure of Krishna. So that's the main difference between work and devotional service. So Krishna is looking for that, right? They say he's looking not for the externals, but he's looking for your intention, why you are doing what you are doing. So,
Prabhuji, I also like that Goswami, he is writing Gita Govinda, and he will scratch that word which Krishna is praying feet, right?
yeah, that Radharani is, Krishna is bowing down to Radharani.
Radharani. I like that very much.
Dehi Pad Pallava Mudaram.
Is it Gita Govind, Prabhuji, that one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know the Sanskrit words. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said that his wife got the darshan of Krishna 3 days because his wife was serving a devotee.
She served the food, yeah.
No, I mean she served Jayadev Goswami, and one who serves devotees gets a mercy of Krishna first.
But when he came in the disguise of her husband, and she served him the food, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And she ate the remnants also.
Correct.
Okay, so anything else? Anybody want to say anything? Radharani? Okay, so we'll read text 41. I think that is the one we have to read. मनु स्वयंभूर्भगवान् भवश्च ये अन्ये तपो ज्ञान विशुद्ध सत्वः अदृष्टपारा अपि यन्महिम्ना स्तुवन्त्यथो त्वात्मा समं कृणीमः. Dear Lord, even great yogis and mystics who are very much advanced by virtue of austerities and knowledge, and who have completely situated themselves in pure existence, as well as great personalities like Manu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva, cannot fully understand your glories and potencies. Nonetheless, they've offered their prayers according to their own capacities. In the same way, we, although much lower than these personalities, also offer our prayers according to our own capability. So we cannot fully know the Supreme Lord because His glories are unlimited. But as much as Krishna reveals about Himself, Krishna also, like we say, Ananta Sesh, is reciting the glories of the Lord since time immemorial, and He has not reached the end of it. So Krishna's glories are always expanding and they're infinite. All the 64 qualities are mentioned, He has infinite qualities. And the power and the, His, what He can, He's inconceivable because it's always increasing. So nobody can understand Krishna fully. As much as Krishna allows us to understand Him, that much we can. But of course, there is the greatness of Krishna and there is sweetness of Krishna. So in Vraj, they don't care about the greatness of Krishna. They are attracted to the sweetness of Krishna. So, and we talk about Krishna's pastimes because he is God and he's doing ordinary activities. So it makes it more attractive. If ordinary people do ordinary activities, it is not so attractive. But if God, who is the Supreme Person, does ordinary activities, then it is very attractive. So, like they say, if the president sweeps the floor, then if a sweeper sweeps the floor, it's not very attractive. But if a president of the country comes and sweeps the floor, then it becomes very attractive. So, but of course, in Vrindavan, they don't know, or Krishna's. I mean, they may know because sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they think that he may be a demigod, or as Garga Muni said, he's as good as Narayan at the time of name giving ceremony. But yeah, Krishna covers them with Yogamaya because he also wants to forget that he's God. And he actually experiences all different kinds of emotions. Because if you say he's God, then, and if he remembers he's God, then there can be no fear from Mother Yashoda's stick. There can be no fear of anything. There can be no friendship with the devotees because friendship is between equals. So, so then it would interfere with Krishna. Krishna also forgets and he actually feels disappointed and when his friends don't want to play with him, he feels disappointed and he actually experiences those emotions and he has forgotten for the time being that he's God. So, right, in a drama, if you want to act in a drama, if you really want to be a good actor, then you have to forget you have to be in that role completely. That's a good actor. You have to forget uh, your position outside the drama, who you are. But you have to be in that role completely, and then you will be a good actor. So Krishna also forgets. By his own sweet will, he can forget also his position. And he really cries and he is really afraid of Yashoda's stick. Damodar month is coming up. So, so it seems like ordinary pastimes, right? A mother is chastising a child. That happens every day in this world. Mother is chastising the child is crying. So what is the difference? The difference is it is about Krishna. That's the difference. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Manu, the father of mankind, great saintly persons and also great sages who have elevated themselves to the transcendental platform through austerities and penance, as well as devotional service, are imperfect in knowledge compared to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because the Jiva is part and parcel of Krishna, he will feel satisfied when that has to be experienced when he hears Krishna's pastimes. The same pastime can be heard in this material world of some other person, right? As a child doing some mischief. There are so many children who have done so many mischiefs in this material world, and we can hear about their pastimes and so many things. How they did this, how they did this, what kind of mischief they did. But Krishna's mischief, if you hear, it satisfies the soul, which has to be experienced. Then if you hear any other child's mischief, right? So because we are part and parcel of Krishna. So that is the what you can say. That is the difference between the two. So Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, like Krishna is, Radharani doesn't want to see Krishna. That happens in the material world also, right? So many times. a boy and girl are in love, and the boy or the girl may not want to see the boy, or there is uh, dancing going on in the disco dance, right? So many boys and girls are dancing. So we hear of Ras Leela, and we hear of all the dancing in this world. So many same thing is going on, right? But the difference is that one purifies the heart, and the other maybe contaminates the heart or whatever. So, so this is how there is a difference between Krishna Leela and otherwise. That's why it appears very bewildering. All this Leela of Krishna, it seems like ordinary people's Leela. Here in the material world, also all these things are going on. So, but we are made to understand that Krishna's Leela is on the spiritual platform. And here it is on the material platform. There is some rasa here also in this world, and everybody is seeking some rasa, right? Everybody is seeking some happiness. So, like mother-child relationship or boy and girl, there is some rasa there, and everybody is trying to find some rasa in this world. But it may not satisfy the heart, so or it turns sour, or things happen, or it is temporary, as we say, like that, all that. Okay, so Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Manu, the father of mankind, great saintly person, also great sages who have elevated themselves to the transcendental platform through austerities and penance, as well as devotional service, are imperfect in knowledge compared to the Supreme Personality of God. So nobody knows as much as the Supreme Lord. This is the case with anyone within this material world. No one can be equal to the Supreme Lord in anything, certainly not in knowledge. So we cannot become God. That position is for God, not for us. Consequently, anyone's prayer to the Supreme Personality of God is never complete. It is not possible to measure the complete glories of the Supreme Lord who is unlimited. Even the Lord himself in his incarnation as Ananta or Sesha cannot describe his own glories. Although Ananta has many thousands of faces and has been glorifying the Lord for many, many years, he could not find the limit of the glories of the Lord. So, in one sense, the Lord can do anything. He's unlimitedly powerful. Yesterday we saw the drama where Krishna changed into Kali, right? Kali. He became Kali. What was the context of the drama? That Jatila and Kutila were looking for Krishna, and Radharani was there with Krishna. Right?
Kutila was saying first that this Radharani is always crying. She's always morose. Why is that? My brother is so nice. So what should we do? And she suggested we should do Surya Puja. So then they were looking for a priest. And Madhu Mangal came along with the priest. I don't know if that priest was Krishna or not, but so Madhu Mangal had a big list of things that she should get for the Surya Puja. A very extraordinary list. And Jatila was thinking, how will she manage all these items? But all these Jatila and Kutila, they became so busy collecting all these items on the list that Radha and Krishna had time to. Then they forgot about Radharani, and so Radharani and Krishna were spending time together. So when suddenly they came, Radharani was like, "Oh, my mother-in-law is here." So Krishna says, "Don't worry." Then he took the form of Kali.
So Krishna can do anything, right? He can. There is nothing inconceivable or nothing not possible for Krishna. So
He even grew pearls out
from
of
thorns, from or from pearls,
pearls. Yeah, he cultivated pearls to
pearls.
get
Yeah, from
out
pearls
of
he
them.
grew pearls, and gopis got thorns.
Mhm.
So Krishna made. So for gopis they didn't grow into pearls, but for Krishna it grew. Pearls grew into pearls. So Krishna can do anything and he can stop anything from happening also. So, so for gopis it did not, result did not come. Of course, that is Leela by Krishna's arrangement. But everything happens by his will.
Mhm. They say, don't tell Krishna how big your problem is. Tell the problem how great our Krishna is.
And we have a big problem: birth, death, old age, disease.
Mhm.
So this is a big problem we have. We are going to die. We are going to get old. We are going to get diseased. So this is a big problem. So we should tell Krishna, please solve this problem. Or this problem can be solved by Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, becoming a pure devotee as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mama Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavatat Bhakti Rahetu Ki. Lifetime after lifetime, please engage me in your service. That's all I want. Whether you keep me in the material world, take me to spiritual world, that's none of my business. You give me whatever you think is best for me. But always remind me to chant Hare Krishna.
So yeah, we should. Yeah, it's an impetus. Where this problems in the material world is an impetus. Krishna has created it in such a way. It is problematic because we will desire to get out of this material existence. So Krishna has created it in such a way that we nobody's life is perfect and everybody has some problem, either relationship problem, health problem, financial problem, some problem, and it's a struggle. So ideally we all want to just be retired and just enjoy life. Most of the people, um, if they had enough money, they would not go to work. They would go on vacation rather and just spend their time enjoying. So in the spiritual world, it is like that. You are eternally on vacation. And here, you have to work very hard to go on vacation. Like you have to accumulate money and things like that. And to make your ends meet, to build a house, so much hard work. You have to take a mortgage. You have to pay your mortgage for 30 years, 15 years. Somebody may not have that problem because they are very rich. But then they have other problems, and then body gives problems. So it is meant to create a desire to go back home, back to God. That's why this material world is like that. Of course, for the pure devotee, it is a happy place, and he doesn't care where he is because he's serving Krishna. So Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate for the pure devotee, it is a very happy place because he's callous to material life. So material life's problems don't bother him because he's detached from the body and all this. So it doesn't bother, all these problems don't bother him. He's on the spirit soul platform. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Like Shukdev Goswami, he was traveling naked and he had no concern about anything. He was callous to all this things. So because they are more important things to do, to serve Krishna, to they're absorbed in Krishna, so they are not worried about material life, how to be happy and settle in material life. So they are very happy. That's why we say pure devotee is very happy, and the mad person is very happy. Nonetheless, everyone in devotional service can offer essential prayers to the Lord. Everyone is situated in a relative position, and no one is perfect in glorifying the Lord. So, although we can't glorify the Lord completely, but according to our ability, sometimes it is said the glories of the Lord are vast, unlimited, like the sky. And the bird can fly in the sky according to its own capacity. It cannot cover the whole sky, the skies. So sometimes it is described that the glories of Lord Chaitanya, they are unlimited, all this. So how much we can describe? I think Vrindavan Das Thakur says something like that, I will attempt to do as like a bird trying to fly in the sky, trying to reach the limit of the sky, but cannot never reach it. But I'll attempt to describe according to my own capacity. So, according to our own capacity, we can serve the Lord. The Lord does not need our service also. He's Atmaram. But He appreciates any service if we do in the right consciousness. Nonetheless, everyone in devotional service can offer essential prayers to the Lord. Everyone is situated in relative position, and no one is perfect in glorifying the Lord. Beginning with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, down to ourselves. Even Prahlad Maharaj says, what can I say in glorifying you? Even the great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, I am just 5-year-old child. What I can do? Even they are not able to satisfy. Who am I? So feeling very humble that even the great devotees, like Prahlad is thinking, yeah, Brahma and Shiva, they are great devotees, and I am very insignificant, born in an Asura family. So that is another quality of the devotee, as we were discussing. Beginning with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, down to ourselves. Everyone is servant of the Supreme Lord. We all are situated in relative positions according to our own karma. So somebody has become Brahma, somebody has become a earthworm, somebody is in the middle as a human being. Yet every one of us can offer prayers with heart and soul as far as we can appreciate the Lord's glories. And the Lord accepts those prayers if we offer it with sincerity, with heart. That is our perfection. Even with all the imperfections, if you offer something to Krishna with love, He will accept it. As happened in the case of Vidura. They offered him banana peel, but still he was accepting it. Even when one is in the darkest region of existence, he is allowed to offer prayers to the Lord according to his own capacity. So we should not think that I'll do everything perfectly, then only I can worship the Lord. No. Even if we chant imperfectly, uh, of course we want to do it nicely, but still with all our efforts, still it may not be perfect. But if we are trying our best, then Krishna will accept it. If we are doing our best, it may not be perfect. There is some pastime of Prabhupada. I think somebody made some preparation for Prabhupada, and it was not nice. It was burnt or something like that. And Prabhupada just ate a little or something. And then this devotee who had made it became very upset. Shital Kumar is not there. Right? So he was not very happy that Prabhupada did not accept it. So he prayed to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master, that your disciple Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj is not accepting. So I'm not very. So then after that, Prabhupada called that disciple and said, bring me that preparation that you have made. And there was no communication as such. He just prayed to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then Prabhupada did the whole preparation. So even though it was not perfect, and so perfectly made, so Krishna can accept all the imperfections as long as it is done with sincerity and with. So it's not like all about the following the completely the technicalities, the rules and regulations perfectly, because we can never be perfect in everything. There will be always some discrepancy in something. But if we do that with sincerity and our best as much as we can do, then Krishna will accept it. So yet
It's like some scripture says like that our praying to Krishna is like a child talking to its parents with broken words. You know how the child speaks.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but the parents understand the intention, and they are very much they are for them the child is so sweet and cute, and broken words. So that's what our attempts of praying to Krishna is like that.
Correct. Yes. what prayers. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the South Indian Srirangam temple, right? The Brahmana was reciting, but he was not reciting Sanskrit perfectly. And everybody was like making fun, and Lord Chaitanya embraced him.
Mhm.
So that's what it is basically. It doesn't, Lord knows our heart, basically.
Mhm. And in many instances, Krishna, like for Dhruva Maharaj, he touched Dhruva Maharaj with his conch, and then Dhruva Maharaj was able to speak. Otherwise, he was just stunned. Same thing happened with Kolavich Sridhar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Saraswati on his tongue, so he was able to speak nice. So, like Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangulanga, I think I'm lame. I'm I cannot do anything. So, but when we get mercy of Krishna, then
Like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to have, was this Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj chant. Uh, his voice was not so good, but Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to tell him to chant because he was advanced and he was hearing, even the voice was not good. So Krishna is not concerned with your voice or any talent. Anything. Of course, we should try our best, whatever we are doing for Krishna, we should try our best to serve him and maintain cleanliness and things like that. But with all our efforts, there will be some discrepancy, but still Krishna will accept it. So, so it is the consciousness, yeah, in which we do. So that is what will make us spiritually advanced is the consciousness behind the service that we do, in what mood we are doing the service. That is what uh, helps us, or that is what determines how much spiritual advancement we'll make.
yeah.
Otherwise, we can do physically and so much service, and but it's not done in the right consciousness, and then behavior with other devotees also, offenses and all these things are also considered. You know, so we say Bahu Janma Kare Yadi Shravan Kirtan Tabu Tana Paye Krishna Pade Prem Dhan. So it says that one can chant the holy name for many births, but if one is infested, means he's not trying to get clear. Of course, he may not be able to, but if he's trying, then Krishna gives the credit. Just for trying, Krishna gives the credit. Krishna is not concerned with the result. But if he's trying, and immediately he may not be able to give, then Krishna gives his mercy. So, so that is the nature of the Lord. And nobody can fool him because he's in the heart. So Krishna knows everything. So all the intention. And sometimes you may get a lot of
And
praise from devotees, but if we internally, we're not doing it, we not get taste. We not get taste in chanting and hearing. If you're doing it as a show, then not, the internal taste will not come. So that is also another thing to consider.
Did somebody said that the praise that we get is like a hog's stool or something?
Bhaktisiddhanta says desire for name and fame. So if you are doing devotional service for name and fame, it is worse than the dung of a boar. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says desire for name, fame, prestige is worse than the dung of a boar. Because then you are doing it not for pleasing Krishna, but Krishna may give you credit also. Because at least he's also saying, we have, Gopa Kumari says, I was just trying to find some excuse. But if you are always wanting to be glorified and things like that, so it can become a very yeah, political situation also. So where it's trying to glorify to get some recognition and like that, and so all these things. It can form like party spirit, you know, like BJP workers, they will try to glorify Modi, and the other parties will try to glorify them. So it can become like a party spirit or a guru groupism spirit, like that. All these things can come about. Then you will have your own men and things like that. So Kumar Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I got late. I had some schedule.
No, no, that's okay. You can start early. We are chanting early. So if you can join early, 5 o'clock we chant.
Okay.
Even when one is in the darkest region of existence, is allowed to offer prayers to the Lord according to his own capacity. The Lord therefore says in Bhagavad Gita 9:32. So even if one is very unqualified, still he can approach the Lord. Nobody is barred from approaching the Lord. माम ही पार्था व्यपाश्रित्या येपिषु पापयोनय स्त्रियो वैश्या तथा शूद्रास्तेपि यान्ति पराम गतिम. Because the way to become purified, if we say, oh, this person is impure, he cannot come to the Lord, then how will he get purified? If he is not allowed to chant the holy name, if he is not allowed to engage in devotional service, then how the person can be purified? So nobody is barred. Of course, for certain services, you require some level of, you know, purity. Like for deity service and all that, you require some level of purity. But chanting the holy name, everybody can do. And that is the Yuga Dharma. So even if you're eating meat, if you are doing drinking wine, whatever, you can still chant Hare Krishna. And that's the way you can become purified. Mami partha vyapashritya yepishu papayonaya. Yepisyu papayonaya. Striyo vaishya tata shudras tepi yanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, although they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, as well as Shudras, can approach the Supreme. Sometimes people say, why women are said to be of lower birth here? But in Kali Yuga, everybody is a Shudra. Kalo Sambhava Shudra. So we are all fallen in this Kali Yuga. Otherwise, we would not come into Kali Yuga. Another way you can say, yes, we are fortunate. We must have done something that we got birth in this golden period of Kali Yuga, where Sankirtan movement is going on. So we are very fortunate from another point of view. Kali Yuga is worshipped because in this age, Kalim Sabha Jayanti Arya Gunagya Sarabhagina Yatra Sankirtan Neva Sarvasvartha Vilabhyate. It is worshipped. Kali Yuga is worshipped because in this Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the holy name, one's all interest is achieved. So that way we are fortunate also. Another way we are unfortunate because it is Kali Yuga. Nobody is interested in spiritual life, generally speaking. Of course, in that golden period, there's a 10,000-year golden period in Kali Yuga. It's talked about, I don't know in which Shastra, but where this Sankirtan movement will flourish. So we are in that period now. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and like that. So, but otherwise, we didn't make it through Satya Yuga, we didn't make it through Treta Yuga, we didn't make it through Dwapar Yuga. So now then we got birth in Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, it is described also, we are very short lived. So our chance of getting perfection is very short time. Prayana Alpa Ayushya Sabhya Kalavasvinu. In Satya Yuga, they used to live long time. So they had more chance. Even if they deviated, they had long life. So they could, But in Kali Yuga, our lifespan is very short. And we are deviated, already distracted, and mind is full of anxiety and disturbed. So it is also considered this is unfortunate in Kali Yuga. Lifespan is short, so many disturbances and struggle and wars and things like that. And the time to attain perfection is also very short because it's only 100 years lifespan, which nobody lives. So that way also, it's very unfortunate age. So anybody but can attain the supreme destination. Anybody who approaches. So there are chandalas who have become devotees of Krishna. So if one seriously accepts the lotus feet of the Lord, he is purified by the grace of the Lord and by the grace of the Lord's servant. This is confirmed by Shukdev Goswami. Ye anya cha papa yadapashraya ashraya shuddhanti tasmai prabhu vishnave namaha. Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkashadi. This verse mentions all the different races which are very downtrodden and fallen because they are engaged in sinful activities. Engagement in sinful activities means fallen. So, but they can also become purified if they take shelter of the devotees of the Lord. Uh, so, okay. One who is brought under the lotus feet of the Lord by the endeavor of the Lord's servant, the spiritual master, is certainly immediately purified, however low born he may be. He becomes eligible to return home back to earth. So, by the association of devotees, we come to the shelter of the Lord. And some devotee, like yesterday, we were sitting eating. There was one American girl, and so we were asking how you came to Radhashtami on this. She says, I was in Florida. She was saying, I was at a beach and somebody gave me a book many years ago. I think Sukhdev Anand Prabhu was also there. Correct?
San Diego.
Huh?
She was in San Diego and someone had given her book then.
She was in where?
San
Florida?
Diego. Remember you mentioned about Dravida Prabhu?
In Sandy, not Florida. She was in San Diego on the beach. Yeah, and then somebody had given her a book. And then from that book, she started going to the temple. Like Sudan Prabhu is saying something, but we can't hear him.
No, Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, what I was saying, you were asking me about that. So what she was saying is, she was in the beach, in the San Diego beach, where this devotee was distributing books in the beach. She got chanting the holy name book, that small book. And but she read it after a month, after a year, actually. She didn't read it immediately. So then she said she liked the holy name somehow, the 16 syllables, right? And then she started going to the temple and she became very involved in the. So that's how I understood it.
Yeah, so from that one contact with the devotee in the form of a book,
Yeah.
then her life got transformed. So, yeah, we can never know, right, what these books are like time bombs. So we should distribute books and also invite them, follow up. So that is our whole program. The mission of ISKCON is to save ourselves and save all the conditioned souls. So that's the mission. Okay. So he becomes eligible to return home back to Varat. So now she goes wherever she goes, she tries to find a temple. And on festivals, she tries to go. She has a job which takes her around the world. She has been to Australia, New Govardhan Farm. She was telling about that. Different places she's been there. So, okay, so the next verse. Namaha Samaya Shuddhaya Purushaya Paraya Cha Vasudevaya Satvaya Tupyam Bhagavate Namaha. Dear Lord, you have no enemies or friends. Because whatever Krishna does is all good for everybody. So everybody, even enemies, you can say Krishna's enemies. Sometimes Krishna says, I'm equal to everybody. I envy no one. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu named veshyostina priya. I'm equal to everybody. I envy no one. I'm partial to. And then he says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Then he says, I come to annihilate the miscreants. So he's equal to all, but yes, his reciprocating with the miscreants is also an act of mercy. So we say mother will give.
Also,
Huh?
in Kali Yuga, everybody is a miscreant, so he kills the demoniac qualities in everybody.
Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kills the demoniac qualities by giving the holy name. Brother. Yes, and then as Krishna he comes and he kills the demons. But that is also an act of mercy. So it is like, yeah, he's showing favor to even his everybody, whether enemy or friend. Of course, it is killing. We in this world we think killing means how can that be mercy? If you kill somebody, right? If you say like that, I killed this person, it's my mercy. Then they'll put you into. They'll think you're crazy, and of course there'll be repercussions. You'll have to go to jail. But Krishna's killing is like that. So you have no enemies or friends. But
But
Krishna says,
Prabhu, I just want to say one thing. Killing, but for the restoration of righteousness, is it wrong or right? That's what Krishna is doing.
yeah. So he is killing because when people deviate from they create disturbance to the devotees. Then he comes and he kills. Yes, like Narsinghadev came because Hiranyakashipu was creating so much disturbance. Krishna, the advent of Krishna is also to kill Kansa. Brahma and all the demigods they went and prayed to for the Lord to descend. So that was also he came to kill Kans. And of course do all his
But
pastimes and things like that. But we say, yeah, he doesn't have to come personally to kill the demons. He comes to give pleasure to his devotees. Yeah.
but anybody who kills, they all get liberated. Anybody who died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on the Duryodhan's party, they all got Sarupe Mukti. They went back to spiritual world. So that's what we're talking about. See, Krishna's killing is also mercy.
Yeah. Sometimes they merge into the impersonal effulgence. Sometimes, like Putana, she was killed and she got the position of mother in the spiritual world. So Krishna thought, oh, she came as my mother. So like that. So it is an act of mercy only. Krishna's killing is an act of mercy. So that's the difference between our killing and Krishna's killing. So, if you, it is fortunate to be killed by the Supreme Lord, but that's not the way to attain Him. The way to attain Him is to serve Him in love. So that is devotional service. So, dear Lord, you have no enemies or friends. And in one sense, even everybody is Krishna's child, right? So some children are rowdy, right? They are not listening to their father. They want to do whatever they like to do. They're acting whimsically, but still, father has love for them. So, and so that's what Krishna's thing is. Therefore, you are equal to everyone. You cannot be contaminated by sinful activities. So for Krishna, there is no sin. Even if he kills, there is no sin for Krishna. Or even if he dances with anybody, then it's not sin. And your transcendental form is always beyond the material creation. So Krishna's form is not made of matter. Our form in this body is made up of matter. So he is beyond. You are the supreme personality of God because you remain everywhere within all existence. Krishna is present, he has expanded everywhere as Paramatma. Yeah. Kumar, you want to say something?
Yeah, Prabhu, just wanted to ask. It is because Krishna is above the law of karma, like he's above the law of karma, and that's why the law of karma doesn't
Yeah.
appear on him.
Yeah, correct. So he is free to do anything. And there is no like there is nothing like right or wrong for Krishna. Everything is right only. Whatever he does is right. So yesterday we were discussing also I was with Mother Kamgiri. She was saying that yeah, this pastime in Mahabharata, right? Yudhishthir's chariot came down because they told him that you speak that Ashwatthama has died. And Yudhishthir said, I'm Dharmaraj, I cannot speak wrong things. But that was the only way to break the morale of Drona. Drona was invincible. Nobody could kill him. But the only way to kill him was to destroy his, break his heart by saying that his son has died. And Bhim had killed an elephant. I don't know if this is true, all these different versions of Mahabharata are there. But Bhim had killed an elephant by the name Ashwatthama. And he was loudly saying, Ashwatthama, I have killed Ashwatthama, I have killed Ashwatthama. And he's telling Drona also, I have killed Ashwatthama. But Drona is not ready to believe Bhim. He wants to hear it from Yudhishthir because Yudhishthir is Satyavadi. He will never speak a lie. So Krishna told Yudhishthir to speak a lie. Say Ashwatthama is dead. And Yudhishthir was thinking, no, no, Ashwatthama is living. His son has not died. How can I say like this? So, but Krishna was saying, no, no, you tell. And finally, Yudhishthir, Bhim had killed an elephant. So Yudhishthir said, Ashwatthama, the elephant, has died. And when he said the elephant, then I think they blew the conch shell or something like that. So what Dronacharya heard was Ashwatthama has died, and that he lost all his enthusiasm to fight. He was very attached to his son. This happens, right? When somebody very dear to us passes away or something like that, then we lose all interest in the world, at least for a few days. Smashan Vairagya, it is called. Smashan Vairagya means we think, yeah, what is the point? All this ultimately. So anyway, so Yudhishthir, he refused to fight. He refused to tell a lie, and that's why his chariot came down. People think because he told a lie, his chariot came down. But Acharyas say, because Krishna told him to tell a lie, it was a lie actually. But if Krishna says, then you do it. Then it's perfect. For Krishna, there is. So, does Krishna get reaction for telling Yudhishthir that he's tell Ashwatthama? No, he doesn't get reaction because he's the Supreme Lord. If I tell you to lie, I may get a reaction, right? If I tell you to do the wrong thing, or if I inspire you to do the wrong thing, I'll get a reaction. But for Krishna, there is no reaction. So that
That verse
is.
is in
Huh?
Namam karmani limpanti name karma phalesprya iti mamyo bijanati karma bina sabadyate. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire the fruits of action. One who understands the truth about me also does not become entangled in karma.
Yeah, sometimes we think God is also under law of karma. Many people think like that. Law of karma applies to everybody. So God is also under law of karma. So that then how can he be God? Because he's not independent. And the one definition of God is that he's Swarat. He's independent. Because we are under the laws, we think everybody should be under the law. So even in ordinary things, king is above the law. Like Trump may have done so many things, but because he is the president, he may not be liable for many things because as a president he has some, what you can call, some immunity from certain kind of things that you do. So even in ordinary things, there is all these things. So Krishna is above the law, and whatever he does is all good.
Law applies to the material world, right? Krishna is transcendental.
Correct. So yeah, so there is no work that there is no karma that Krishna creates when he acts. When we act, we create karma. So either devotional or material karma. We are consequently known as Vasudev. We offer our respect to all obeisances. So we have to be clear on the definition of God. Then we can say whether Krishna is fits the definition or not. So like that. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Vasudev because he lives everywhere. And why it is like that, we can't question that. Why Krishna is not under the law? The law should apply to everybody, like those who are fair and just. They think law should be equal for everybody, even everybody. So why is it like that? It is like that. We can't say why Krishna can do anything and still get away with it, and no law, no karma applies. Why is it like that? Because it is like that. We
And
cannot
law
question.
applies on the material world, right? Because we all are time bound. And according to the time, we get the karma and get the reactions. But Krishna is, he is time, he is transcendental. But if someone goes back to Godhead, they are also not applicable karma, right?
Yeah.
It's for the material world.
Yeah, so when
You
Krishna
get
comes in
the
the material
reactions.
world, he does many activities, but still it's not like he's bound by
But he
karma.
don't get the material form. He is always transcendental, even when he come to the material world.
So you
Right?
that is implicit. There is a faith in that, right? You have faith that Krishna is coming in this world and he is beyond these laws, right? So that is a faith you have. That's what I'm saying. So why somebody may say why it is like that? When it is like that, you can't question why.
Also, in the material world, it's only Bhulok, this earth planet, where there is karma, is a karam bhumi. Whether we go to heavenly planets or hellish planets, there is no karma. They are reaping the benefits of their karma. They're not generating any further karma. Is that true?
Yeah, kind of they say like that in heavenly planets you don't. But
You just enjoy means you.
Indra gets cursed also, right, to become a pig because he does something and then he gets cursed, and so it seems like he's getting the reaction of his activity there. I don't know how exactly it is.
Maybe they have different laws in the demigods.
Yeah, but
Mm.
they are enjoying mostly, right? So they are not. They are spending the results of their
So,
karma. Go ahead. Yeah. Somebody want to say something. Madhav Kanda.
So Krishna asked the Yudhishthira to speak lies. So Krishna knew that, but I think more what at least I don't know is when Krishna chose a particular path for any individual, whether it's lies or true, there may be some karma for that individual also. I think I don't know what it was in the past of the Dronacharya that eventually manifests like death by something like this. So, I know for Dhritarashtra, we know why when he asked that question, then Krishna answers why he
Yeah.
suffered to see all his sons died in front of him.
Mhm.
But for Dronacharya, at least I have not heard like what could be the his previous karma that results.
Yeah, we can go into the past lives of so many people and try to figure out why this happened. There are so many soldiers. Every
Right.
soldier had a past life, but it's not
But but
really.
but the point is,
Mhm.
I think apparently we may say, oh, Krishna is how come Krishna is telling to someone to speak lies? But I think the big picture is that karma of that individual that we don't know yet, but we are just focusing on Krishna's act, right? I mean, so that may not be correct. So Krishna is, I think, he's giving justice to everyone as per their, I mean, karma, I believe.
So you are saying that maybe Drona did something in this past life, so he deserves to be killed in this way. So Krishna is just acting is saying this to so that Drona can be killed basically because of his something that he did in his past life. Can be,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just I'm thinking because of the way at least we know about Dhritarashtra situation. Based on that, I'm thinking.
Yeah. And because they are all bad karma because they were siding with Duryodhana. So if you side with they were generating their bad karma already. So of course Dronacharya may have been a noble soul, but he's he was silent also. They say for Draupadi's Vastraharan, so he had to be killed like that. They say also. Prabhupada says something like that somewhere. So many things can be there. But they were all fighting for Duryodhana against the Pandavas who were pure devotees.
So
So
Prabhuji, can't
that's.
you argue in this sense? Krishna gives forgetfulness and intelligence. So why didn't them being so pious? Bhishma and Drona, and they having lost their intelligence. To speak up.
Yeah.
Drona is also attached to his son, this Ashwathama. He's not a very nice person. Like how Dhritarashtra is attached to Duryodhana.
Mm-hmm. But
And
Bhishma is
I think
intelligent.
he's also working for some financial benefits because as they were very poor, these Kauravas, they accepted him as a guru, and in return, he wanted
Oh
something.
yes, and I think there's a background story to that as well, right? His friend was rich and he was poor, and he said,
Yeah, that's
mm-hmm.
Drupad,
Drupad, right?
Draupadi's
Yeah.
father. Yeah. He's supposed to be a Brahmana who works not for material profit, right?
Yeah. So he was attached to his son Ashwathama. Ashwathama, till now, he is siding with Duryodhan, obviously. So that's a big thing to side with the evil. But he had not done any crime till so far, right? I mean, I don't know if there was anything he did till this time.
Except that cutting off the thumb of that
Ekalavya.
Ekalavya.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it was a crime, but yeah, it seemed.
Ekalavya had evil intention, I think. That's what they were. If he would have known, it is described, I think there is why Dronacharya asked for Ekalavya's thumb. There is some reason he had evil intentions.
Yeah, because he would become greater than Arjuna and he didn't want anybody to be.
And he had evil intention also. He would, uh,
Mhm.
so,
He was upset at Dronacharya because Dronacharya is supposed to be equal to all, should be able to teach to everybody, right?
mm,
But I guess Eklavya is not from a Kshatriya family, so he rejected him.
yeah. I think Chaitanya Charan Prabhu has analyzed something about this intention of Ekalavya. So anyhow, so Dronacharya Prabhupada says that he remained silent when Draupadi was being. So they had to be killed like that. If you remain silent when there is injustice being done, so maybe that's the reason, or maybe some
Yes,
past life. Hmm?
same as Bhishma had to suffer because of that only. He was
At the
silent.
same time, we say Bhishma is a pure devotee. So
Mhm.
that's why.
Yeah,
Then why did he remain silent? That's not the
yeah,
befitting
yeah.
the behavior
The
of a
act is the same, the consciousness behind the act is different for both. This he's thinking, Bhishma is thinking, my Krishna will come and I will see in what form because Draupadi is Krishna's friend. Krishna will definitely come to protect, and I want to see which form he comes. That's his thought also.
Okay, so it is little. All these are very complex things because we say how can Bhishma remain silent when Draupadi is being going through such humiliation, and then of course he knew Krishna would come, and so if a devotee is in danger, then should we remain silent and say, let's see how Krishna protects this devotee, or should we help the devotee? Somebody can ask like that question. But he knew Krishna was going to come. So, yeah, there can be so many endless, our mind can think of so many possibilities, permutations, and combinations. And so, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Vasudev. We'll finish this because he lives everywhere. Vasudev means one who is all pervading. The word Vas means to live. So, live everywhere is what? Udeva. Then, as stated in Brahma Samhita, Ekopi aso rachayutam jagadanta kotim. So, Krishna has created multi universes. The Lord, through his plenary portion, enters into each and every universe to create the material manifestation. Yat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chaya Dadanta Andantarasta Karma. So he has entered into everything. Krishna is in this table. He has entered into the atoms of this table. And he has entered into our body as Shirodakshai Vishnu, as Paramatma. and everywhere. He also enters into each and every. Then why can't we see him? Because he has hidden himself. We just see the table, we don't see Krishna. But who was seeing? Prahlad was seeing. स्थावर देखी जंगम देखे न देखे तारा मूर्ति सर्वत्र.
सर्वत्र है निज इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति.
So he also enters into each and every heart in all living entities and into each and every atom also. Paramanu Chayantarastam. Because the Supreme Lord lives everywhere, he is known as Vasudeva. Although he lives everywhere within the material world, he is not contaminated by the modes of nature. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would see everything and he would be reminded of Krishna. So sometimes people may think I've gone crazy, you're hallucinating. You're seeing Krishna in this light, you are seeing Krishna in this wall, you are seeing Krishna. Sometimes people may think that this is hallucination, right? This is like you are seeing something which is not there. But devotional seeing is different from material seeing. So also in the material world, we don't see what exactly how the situation is. Right? We see our body and we think we are this body, but actually we are the soul. We can't see the soul. We don't perceive that. So whatever we see in the material world is according to our illusory. So everybody is seeing an illusion, right, in the material world. So because the Supreme Lord lives, but because more people are seeing like that, that's why we think this is reality. Like a man was carrying a goat and somebody said, no, this is a ghost you are carrying, this is not a goat. And second man said, oh, this is a ghost. Like that, three times people, four times people say, then you start believing it. Oh, it's not a goat, it's a ghost. And he dropped the goat. So, like that. So, in this material world, we are told in a certain way to live certain way lifestyle should be. And we start believing that. Of course, because we want to be comfortable, we want to be happy, we want to enjoy. So, we accept this way of living. And it does give us, like, if you get educated, if you follow the path, then you will get a nice job, then you will get nice money, then you can build a house, then you can have nice bed, you can have nice sofa, you can have so many things, air conditioning, this, that, so many things you can like do for comforts. So we accept that kind of life because that gives us. And if we don't accept and if we live like a beggar, then people will not give us value. They will think we are crazy. So that is also there. So to conform with the norms of society, we accept. So although he lives everywhere, and we can be devotee even in that situation, we can use everything for Krishna. Although he lives everywhere within the material world, he is not contaminated by the modes of nature. Krishna is not contaminated by modes of nature. Like he doesn't feel Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun, all this. The Lord is therefore described in Ishopanishad as apapa viddham. Papa means sin and apapa means, yeah, somebody want to say something.
And
Yeah.
that's the pastime of Bhrigu Muni, right? When he's trying to find who's the Supreme Lord, he must be above the modes. So he goes and offends Brahma and Shiva, and they both become angry. And then he goes to Vishnu, and he hits him with his feet. And Vishnu gets up and says, "Oh my God, your feet might be hurt because my chest is very hard. Let me massage your feet." And he understands, yeah, Vishnu is above the modes, nature. He's the Supreme Lord.
So one who is
Prabhu,
self-satisfied.
I just want to ask this a short question, Prabhu. You said Satogun, Rajagun, Tamagun. So, is it not the fact that Satogun comes from Krishna, which is also present in the atoms, which you just said little bit before, that an atom has like three forces: electron, proton, neutrons. So like the Satogun comes from Krishna always, and that's why this is the reason why he is present in every atom in this material world.
Sattva gun characteristics are described. Um, yeah, Sattva gun, like living entities experience Sattva gun. atoms are not really living in one sense, right? So I don't know what you say when you say atoms are in Sattva Gun. Is that something you said? Atoms are in Sattva Gun?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Like there are three forces in an atom. Like electron, proton, neutrons. So I'm saying in that regard, like even in Gita, Krishna has said, like every every material things revolves around these three characteristics: Sato, Rajo, and Tamo.
Correct.
Where Sato comes from Krishna, because and that's the reason why we have to leave meat eating and just consume fruits, vegetables, whichever is not flesh, because
Correct. Yeah.
that's where we get the satogun.
Actually, all the gunas are coming from Krishna only because these gunas represent material nature, Maya. And
Huh.
Maya Dakshina Prakriti, so this material nature and all these energies working under the direction of Krishna.
Depending on how you live your lifestyle, basically you are influenced by these three gunas.
I
So,
heard actually, Prabhu, that all the three forces in an atom comes from the three major deities, which is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Is it right or wrong? Because I have heard from many people.
They are the controllers. So Shiva is the controller of the mode of ignorance. Brahma is the controller of the mode of a goodness, a passion, and Vishnu is a controller. And so they are not affected by these modes, but they're controlling these modes. But ultimately, all of it is coming from Krishna only. But
Okay.
Krishna has placed these as controllers, like as administrators. Is that correct?
correct. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, Sattva Gun, Rajogun is our consciousness is affected by these gunas, right? Sometimes you are very passionate, you are very desirous of enjoying your senses. That means now Rajogun has come over you. Sometimes you are very thoughtful, you think about your actions before you do your actions. Then you're in Sattva Gun. Sometimes you are very lazy and very, you don't care about spirituality, anything like that. You just lazy, sleep, that is tamogun. So like that, everybody is affected by these three gunas, right? So we can see in our day also, we can be angry sometimes, then rajogun is coming up. Anger is because of rajogun. So
Yeah, and the point is to overcome these and rise above all the three modes. We have to be in the transcendental consciousness, even above the mode of goodness. By surrendering to Krishna, we can do that. So, because even in the mode of goodness, we can be performing karma, even maybe pious karma that will be binding.
yeah, yeah, there is desires in the mode of goodness, there is desires in the mode of passion. So all these desires, where are they coming from? Like you came to the temple yesterday, right? So many people didn't come. So you had some desire to come. So that is the desire. Everybody has, like, somebody has desire to chant the holy name. Somebody doesn't have the desire to chant the holy name, to get up early and chant the holy name. They don't have the desire. Or they say they have desire, but they can't do it. Because tamogun is there. Like tamogun, sometimes we sleep and we like to sleep. So we can't, we oversleep. So that's all tamogun is happening. So we are being, pushed around by the modes. And it is very difficult to get out of these modes. So Krishna is saying in Deviyesha Gunamai, Mamaya Durataya, Mame Vaya Prapadyante Maya Mitamtam. So more we accept spiritual practices, there is a chance, if we do it in the right consciousness, praying to Krishna, then we can get out of this influence of these modes. Otherwise, these modes will push us around and make us suffer. And we think that we are very independent, but we are being pushed around by the modes. We are thinking I'm making decision in my life of doing this thing, but actually the modes are pushing you in that way. But out of false ego, you are thinking I'm in the ahankara vimudatma prakrite kriyamanani gunai karamani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. The, the person is thinking, I'm independent, I'm doing it like that. So, but it's the modes that are pushing us. And then afterwards, we may feel like, well, I should not have done that. But at that time, the modes were pushing you in a certain way. So to get out of these modes and say no to the modes when those urges come up, when those, laziness and all this, to say no to that, you have to take shelter of Krishna. So that is the thing. And Sattva Gun also. In Sattva Gun, you feel you're higher than Tamo Gun and Rajagun. But in Sattva Gun, what happens is you become little happy in this material existence. So you start feeling very happy. You don't realize the problems of material existence, birth, death, because your situation now is so nice that you can't see the whole bigger picture. And the desire to get out of this material world is not strong. Because you're in Sattva Gun, you find some happiness in this material world. So, like many people observe nature and write poems about nature and beauty in this world, and they like art and poetry and so many things. So, like that, you become conditioned to a sense of happiness in this world. So you can't see that my death is coming up. I will go to next life, and I'm going in repeated cycle of birth and death. So Krishna says, even if you're in mode of goodness, material world will be less miserable, but still it is miserable. So in Rajogunto it is miserable. Krishna says, Rajasastu phalam dukkham. The phala, the fruit of Rajas is dukkha. Yeah, he says the more we try to engage our senses in sense gratification, it will give rise to misery. So, so that is how. Okay, so that's so we need our enjoyment. So we should try to seek enjoyment in chanting the holy name, in hearing about Krishna. So that's where we should find enjoyment in devotional service. Otherwise, we'll try to find enjoyment in material sense gratification. And that will bind us in this material world and will give us misery. So, okay, so we'll stop here. It's already 9 o'clock. We'll read this purport again. So, or we can finish it. He is never contaminated by the modes of material nature. When the Lord descends to this planet, he acts in many ways. He kills demons and performs acts not sanctioned by the Vedic principles. Krishna can do many things not sanctioned by Vedic principles. That is, acts considered sinful, like stealing, or dancing with the gopis, or telling Yudhishthir to speak a lie. Even though he acts in such a way, he is never contaminated by his action. He is therefore described herein as Shuddha, meaning always free from contamination. So the same thing we do is contaminating. The same thing Krishna does, it is not contaminating. Somebody may say this is not fair. If I do the same thing, it is contaminating. If I steal, it is contaminating. I am punished, but Krishna is stealing, he is not punished. Why it is like that? Of course, Krishna was stealing in his friends' homes, right? He's stealing in his gopis who love him. So that's why he was not punished also. If you steal from a friend's home, then maybe they will pardon you, but they may not like it also. They may break your friendship.
I think Prabhu he's doing Leela. He's doing Leela, and that's why
Correct.
he is above everything, and he's doing kind of a Leela, knowing the fact that this may hurt someone or anything, but he's still doing Leela because he's above this material one.
I mean, even if he is stealing from somebody who's not his devotee, then also it's not sinful because everything belongs to Krishna. So
Yes.
that's why it's not sinful. The Lord is, Preeti is saying, the Lord is also Sama, equal to everyone. In this regard, he states in Bhagavad Gita, Samaham Sarvabhuteshu Name Vishwastina Priya. The Lord has no one as his friend or enemy and is equal to everyone. So if I steal, I am liable. Why? Because things don't belong to me. That's why I'm liable. That's why I'm put into jail. But Krishna steals, there's no. You have to accept but that everything belongs to Krishna. If you don't accept that fact, then You will think Krishna is also a thief. The word Satvaya indicates the form of Lord is not material. It is Satchidananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. His body is different from our material bodies. One should not think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has a material body like ours. So Krishna is action, everything is perfect. And we don't accept it because we have envy in our heart. We may think, well, I am doing the same thing and I am punished, and Krishna is doing the same thing and is not getting punished. Why is it like that? Why Krishna is enjoying and I can't enjoy like Krishna? He is not getting any reaction. So when we think like that, then we come to this material world out of envy. So, but that is how it is. We may question also, but what can we do? Our position is subordinate. It is made like that. We cannot change it. And the devotee can become more than Krishna also. So that also.
Prabhu, I have something in my mind. Is it also due to the fact that Krishna, in his top abode, he is like almost nothing. Like if we transcend beyond the material and spiritual world, then also Krishna exists, but in the zero, in the nothingness form, and that's why a soul of that character belongs to nothing, and that's why the law of karma doesn't belong to him. Is it like that? It's just my
No, no. Krishna
assumption.
has a personal form, highest in the ultimate reality. God is a person, and He is a personal form. Because if God is complete, then He should have a personal form also, and that is the highest actually, according to scriptures. He has an impersonal form also, because He
Yeah.
includes everything. So, as an impersonal form, that impersonal form is His energy, which we called as the all-pervading Nirakar, which has no shape, like that,
Ji,
Nirguna.
ji.
Okay. But he has both aspects, personal aspect and impersonal aspect. But personal aspect is higher. Ultimate issue, God is a person. That is why bhakti has meaning. Because bhakti means reciprocation. If he has nothing, if there is nothingness, impersonal, then there is no reciprocation. So our philosophy is personal philosophy. Vaishnava philosophy is personal.
Ji.
That God is a
Yeah,
person.
it's kind of a Siva philosophy. That's why I have read Siva philosophy. That's why I'm kind of mixing up, but it's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. That is not the ultimate. According to the Bhagavatam, God is a person.
Ji.
Yeah. So Bhagavatam is the highest scripture, and that it is saying Krishna is a person. So, but not like us. That's another thing. Not materially. That's what his Prabhupada is saying, that his body is different from our material bodies. So we as spirit soul, we also have spiritual form in the spiritual world. So we are also like Krishna only because we are part of him. We have a personality. Krishna has his personality. And there is variety in the spiritual world. It is not nothingness. Nothingness means no variety, nothing. It's all homogeneous, nothing is there. So, not like that. So, okay, we'll stop here. Continue tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Hare Krishna, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Have a
Krishna,
Hare
good day,
Prabhuji.
sir.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, we need to get this something about the website. Every now and then it breaks, and then people complain to me. So whatever needs to be done, I think it's high time we should do, because something is not happening, and every few days it again comes to the same state. Again, now somebody is complaining today.
Ramtirtha Prabhu also messaged me.
So what should we do? You'd suggest, should we give it to some professional guys to, like, whatever? I mean, see, that's
I don't
website.
think professional people will do anything because they will just scrap it and then just put the code somewhere else.
Can't they
I
fix the
already reached
code?
out.
Can't they fix the code?
I did. I fixed. But this is where I found out that about 6 million people are affected by this hack. There was some WordPress related issue and that made everybody's website get affected by this virus or malware. So yeah, I'll send you the article. But anyway, yeah.
So
I
what is?
found, like,
So they must have 6 million people affected. So they must have found a solution, right?
well, the solution is to clean up, and which I did.